Hey, it's Christian from Clinical Cousins YouTube channel. I've been getting a lot of interest in talking about how I got my master's science nursing education in 60 days for $3,000. So I wanted to give you guys just a no fluff, straight to the point video of how I did it. So, fast facts, my name's Christian Patrick Heinzman. Just so you guys know, I'm not BSing you. I just got this in the mail the other day. Christian Patrick Heinzman. It's probably backwards for you guys. Master's Science Nursing and Education. Okay, so I got that the other day. Did in 60 days, $3,000. So, how this video is going to work, I'm going to tell you exactly all the facts you need to know to do the same, and then I'm going to give you my personal story and how I ended up in the emergency department at like midnight, right as I was finishing this degree. So, fast facts. Did it through Capella University. I did it through FlexPath. FlexPath is basically work at your own pace. If you do the traditional path, it's going to take you 1 to 2 years like everybody else. It's going to be hella expensive. Okay, do FlexPath. It means work at your own pace. Okay, what is the structure of FlexPath? My degree, 13 courses. Okay, imagine 13 courses. Each of those courses has about 3 to 6 activities that you have to do. Now, 99% of these are going to be papers, and the other 1% is going to be PowerPoint presentations that you have to video record yourself. Okay, I would say the average amount of papers in a class is about 3. So you can imagine 12 to 13 classes, you're writing a minimum of 3 papers in each. Now, don't turn off the video. I hate papers. I sucked at writing papers, but after you do that first class, I promise you, you're going to be so much better off. You guys, literally, they give you the grading rubric, and if you just write your prompts based on the rubric and you include those keywords that they're looking for when they're grading your papers, you are going to be okay. I promise you. I know people right now who are getting their bachelor's who have not written papers in 20 years, and they're doing a fantastic job at Capella University. And by the way, I'm no way sponsored by them. You know, if they want to sponsor me, I'm open. There you go, Capella University. But I'm not sponsored by them in any way. I just want you guys to get the degree that you want in the fastest amount of time in the least amount of money possible. So I took my first course, right? It had 3 papers in it. I'm like, okay, well, looks like I'll just, work on this and knock it out. I wrote the first paper. Immediately save the template of that paper, right? So don't start from scratch every single time. When you write a paper in APA, save that forever. They're using APA 7 now. Save that paper forever. Why? Because you can literally just delete all the work that was in that paper and then substitute the headings, right? Don't start from scratch every time. Save yourself some time. Write a paper, make an APA template, and then use that for the entirety of your degree program. So that's exactly what I did. I'm like, okay, now that I have the template, writing's pretty easy, right? Because they're going to give you a grading rubric, and the way that Capella grades for graduate degrees, it's a little bit different. So they grade you, it's like a scale of like 1 to 4. So at the bottom you have, you didn't do what you needed to do, right? It's red, it's bad. They're basically like, you didn't get the point of this at all. With basic, okay, it gives you a yellow color. It means that you're kind of getting the concept, but we need to see a little bit more for you. For bachelor degrees, for undergraduate degrees, you need to get a basic in every single assignment that you turn in at Capella University before you can graduate with that degree. Okay. Now, what I did, I got my master's at Capella, so that is a graduate degree, right? So I needed to get a proficient or exemplary, which are like levels 3 and 4, for every single one of my assignments that I turned in before I could get that degree. So basically, how a class works is, you have your modules or assignments or whatever. It's usually like 3 to 4 papers, and you have to turn in your paper and then get a proficient or exemplary based on what degree you're getting, so that you can submit that course and finish that course. Okay, so what I did was I would work through all 3 of those papers. I would submit it as fast as possible, because here's a key point. They have 48 hours business hours to grade your paper, which means that if you submit a paper on a Wednesday, you are going to get it back on a Friday, right? If you submit it on a Thursday, you are going to get it back the following Monday. So if you're trying to knock things out, if you're trying not to pay a lot of money, submit things as fast as you can, because it's going to take 2 days for them to grade it. Sometimes it might take them a little bit longer, and then you just got to nudge your teacher. You got to be like, hey, the policy is, you got to grade it within 48 hours. Please, can you grade this for me? And they'll be like, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. So that is what I did. I just worked through every single class. I had to get a proficient or exemplary, which are levels 3 and 4, which are the green color, for every single one of my assignments before I could pass. Now, I did that for 12 classes, right? So how was I moving through each class so quickly? I had my template from the first class, the APA template, and all that I would do, I would go ahead and look at the rubric. They give you very, very detailed rubrics. It's amazing. So I would look in the exemplary column. I'd say, what do I need to do to shoot for an exemplary paper or presentation? And then, guys, use those keywords that they are looking for in the exemplary column, in that 100% column, and then throw those into your paper or your presentation so that it jogs their mind, right? So if you're just writing a paper, it could be the best paper in the world, but if it didn't include those key terms in the rubric, they are not going to give you the grade that you deserve. So take it easy on yourself, right? Make it easy, and use those key words in the exemplary column, in that 100% column, so that you can get the best grade possible and the grade that you deserve. So that is how I moved through those so quickly. So I literally, story time, I decided to get my master's because I thought it'd make me more competitive for CRNA school in the future. So like, whatever, I'll apply. If I get in, great, I'll look at it, but if I don't want to do it, then I won't do it. So I did my first class, got it done in 2 days. I'm like, wait a second, there's only like 12 or 13 courses to finish this. So I'm like, whatever, I'm going to do it in 45 days. Well, I ended up doing it in 60 days because I ended up in the emergency department. How did that happen? Well, I was literally working a full-time job, 40 hours a week at the hospital. I was orienting for my ICU position, which I have now in Mission Hospital in Asheville. And I would wake up every single day without fail. I would wake up at 3 a.m. and I would work until I had to go in at like 8 a.m. So I would get like 4 hours of work done. I would usually write an entire paper in that time. And trust me, you can do the exact same thing once you get in the hang of it. So I'd write a paper in the morning from like start to finish. Then I would go to work and I would work on my lunch break for 30 minutes or an hour, whatever it was that day. And then I would come home, eat dinner, and I would literally work until 9 or 10 at night. And I would wash, rinse, repeat every single day. So I did that for the first 12 courses. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm drinking a lot of coffee. It kind of hurts my chest area. It kind of hurts when I breathe. Well, it turns out if you don't sleep, you'll get horrible esophagitis. And also if you're drinking a pot of coffee a day, that doesn't help. So I basically had horrible reflux, thought I was having a heart attack. My loving fiance, Alyssa, was super mad at me because she had a job to Asheville. And she was scolding me, and the doctor was too, saying, you shouldn't drink that much coffee. You need to sleep. And I'm like, all right, I get it. I'm a little bit crazy. So for that 13th course, I had to do a practicum. And basically all a practicum is, it means you got to get your butt in person and you got to go do something so that we actually know you're a real person, right? So for my practicum, it was 100 hours. I had to log 100 hours of time that I spent researching or contributing to patient education. So my capstone project, it's called a capstone. It's your 13th course. It's your last course. My capstone project, I had to write 5 papers, and I had to log 20 hours of clinical time, which was like me in person doing like basically an unpaid shift, educating patients. And then the rest of those hours I spent on research, gathering patient materials, and it can't be doing stuff for your papers. You can't be writing papers, but you can be gathering materials to help better educate your patients. It's really all dependent on what your project is, what you choose your capstone to be. I promise it's not super intimidating. Like, literally think about it like 2 10-hour shifts. You got to do 2 10-hour shifts in a weekend. That's your clinical portion. The rest you can be working actively with your preceptor, whoever that may be, to go ahead and get the rest of the 80 hours so that you can graduate with your degree. So I took a little bit of time off. I slept a little bit. I originally wanted to do this in 45 days. I ended up doing it in 60 because I was like, I need to sleep. Like, I feel like a zombie every single day, and I need to take care of myself so I can take care of patients. So that is what I did. I took a little bit of time off. I think I took like 2 or 3 days off, and I'm like, man, I just want to get this done. So I started working on my practicum, got my 20 hours of clinical, worked with my preceptor to gather all these materials so that I could finish the other 80 hours, so 100 hours in total. And then all of a sudden, just as fast as it started, I finished. So I submitted my final course, got all the grades back for those, hit complete, and that is how I got my master's degree in 60 days and for $3,000. Now, let's say that I would have taken longer than 3 months to finish. Well, the way that the pricing works at Capella University for FlexPath is you pay every 3 months to access courses. So at the beginning, I paid $3,000, and that gave me 3 months worth of access. People are like, oh, man, that's really expensive. Not really. I finished in 2 months. So that is the only expense that I had to pay for my master's degree. And oftentimes when I tell people that I got my master's degree, they're like, that's weird. Didn't you just graduate with your BSN? Yes. And just by doing a little bit of research, by watching this video today, I'm giving you the insider secret for free on how to do the exact same thing. So I know I had to talk a little bit. I had to get into the nitty gritty. But if you guys want me to give you a call or set up like a one-on-one session, I'm totally happy to do that. I want everybody to get their degree in the fastest time possible with the least amount of money possible. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.